children. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Action News Now. On this gorgeous Thursday afternoon, I'm Josh Krupp. Hopping on here for a little bit today on Action News Now to talk about a proposal in Ohio that would put more money in the pockets of families with children. You may remember during COVID-19, there was an expansion of the federal child tax credit. There's already something on the books that gives parents tax credits for having kids, and we'll show you what the numbers currently are. But during COVID, federal government, Congress decided that should be elevated a little bit, and we'll break down the numbers here in a minute. That has since gone away, and now there's a new proposal in Ohio that would create a child tax credit here in the state. Let's show you what it would do. It's called the Thriving Families Tax Credit. It would give families $1,000 per child ages 6 and under, or younger than 6, and then $500 per kid ages 6 to 17. It'd be fully refundable. Families earning less than $65,000 would qualify for the full benefit amount. Benefits would phase out for families earning between $65,000 and $85,000 a year. So tax experts here, particularly who we're about to hear from with the organization Policy Matters Ohio, a progressive think tank in the state, say that this is some real targeted tax relief for low and middle income families. This is just a proposal right now, just recently unveiled by Democrats in the House. Unsure what the appetite will be in the state House for this, but a lot of times these proposals are conversation starters or talkers about what this could look like. You remember earlier this year, Ohio enacted some tax cuts for across-the-board income tax cuts and consolidated tax brackets in the state. Policy Matters Ohio says that really benefited some of the wealthiest earners in the state. This, meantime, would benefit some people who are in the lower income areas of our state. Here's what Bailey Williams with Policy Matters Ohio says about this proposal. And I asked him specifically, what would you say to the argument that this would just incentivize people to not work? This is a $500 or $1,000 child tax credit. This isn't a $50,000 payment by any means. But I asked him that. I said that's something that would come up during debate here. What's your response to that, and the benefits of this are what?
Childcare in of itself is work. And cutting parents in on a little bit of tax relief, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much. It's only $1,000 credit if you have a child under the age of 6. It shows the state that it's valuing the work that they put in. Is not just giving it to working parents, because circumstances are different for every family, but it values the work that parents put in on the day-to-day, raising the next generation of Ohioans. And it's a slap in the face, I think, to disvalue that work. It's hard for parents of all ages and all walks. So let's cut the ones who are most economically vulnerable on a tax relief bill and help them make ends meet.
So here's that Thriving Families Tax Credit, once again proposed by House Democrats in Ohio. $1,000 per child ages 0 to 5, $500 per child ages 6 to 17. You just see that income threshold there for the average family earning about less than $65,000 a year. They would qualify for the whole benefit amount. About 1.8 million Ohioans is the estimate from the bill's lead sponsors. How much will this totally cost? We don't have a fiscal estimate or anything like that complete at this point, so we don't know what the final price tag would be on this. But let's show you what that federal expanded child tax credit did, and then we'll bring Bailey back in just a second to get his thoughts on what that accomplished. That increased the child tax credit federally to $3,600 a year for kids 0 to 6, and then $3,000 per child ages 6 to 17. And the biggest difference with that is there were monthly payments that were going out. So if you had 2 kids in your house between the ages of 6 and 17, you were getting $600 a month for a short while that was in effect. And experts say, and all of the data shows that helped tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of kids come out of poverty. There has been a push to try and renew that, but there has not been a complete appetite in Congress to make that happen. As for comparison, 2024 federal child tax credit, $2,000 per child without the monthly payments. It's not fully refundable. So a little bit different here. So it is a little bit different than what we saw with that federal child tax credit, but it's kind of modeled off of that, says Bailey Williams. Let's bring him back in here to talk about his thoughts on what the federal child tax credit, the expansion of that, accomplished.
Made it so they can pay out in monthly installments instead of just one lump sum when they get their tax return. And we saw marked improvements in childhood poverty. Rates were slashed to their lowest on history at about 5% childhood poverty in the United States. Unfortunately, since that expansion was only was temporary and has since expired, we've seen jumps in childhood poverty again without those family economic security packages in place. Now,
and so that was Bailey's thoughts on the federal expansion of the child tax credit. Vicky says should put a minimum amount earned. Some people barely work, have a lot of kids on bank on tax credits. And that's something that would come up during the debate of this. We haven't seen the debate start yet. This is a new proposal. Just wanted to get out there and lay the groundwork for that. So there will be plenty of time to weigh in on both sides of this. Should there be a floor? Should there be a ceiling that should be a little bit higher or lower than what is proposed? That's something that could all be hashed out and debated by the powers that be. But here's that ceiling, if you will. No floor on this. As Vicky had commented, families earning less than $65,000 would qualify for the full amount. Benefits would phase out for families earning between $65,000 and $85,000. So that's a look at that proposal on the table right now in Ohio. We're going to talk about this also coming up tonight on Action News at 6. A very busy news day here in Northwest Ohio. Plenty of other things to get to throughout the rest of this day. Christian Brown giving you all the latest right now on TV on Action News at noon. We will be back on TV tonight at 4 o'clock, and we'll be with you all the way till 6:30. If you can't stick around until then, you can't get home until 6:45. We're on the air again at 7 o'clock through 7:30 with all the day's headlines. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to Action News Now on your Thursday afternoon. I'm Josh Krupp. Enjoy the rest of this gorgeous mid-60 degree day here in Northwest Ohio.